Friday the 13th is one of the biggest horror franchises of all time, and Jason Voorhees is one of the most iconic movie villains ever. Building off the popularity of Halloween, Friday the 13th grabbed the concept of a faceless, invincible killer stalking and murdering horny teenagers, and they ran with that way past the point of running out of ideas. The first film in 1980 actually centered on Jason's mother, getting revenge on the counselors for her son's death years earlier. Jason didn't even really show up until the sequel, and he didn't get his iconic hockey mask until the third film. In the final chapter, Jason dies after going on another killing spree, and that's the end, right? The final chapter is surely the last movie. But no, the series' popularity wouldn't allow Paramount not to make another sequel. The next movie is about a copycat killer, and then Jason gets resurrected, no longer bound by immortality or good movie plots. Then he goes on to battle a teenage psychic, goes to the city, gets re-killed by the FBI, gains the ability to possess people, goes to hell, then goes to space, then he fights Freddy Krueger. And then it got a reboot a few years later. Now that you know the general history of Friday the 13th, let's get into the actual game review. This game was released in 1989 and was supposed to coincide with the plot of The New Blood, which released a year earlier. Jason Takes Manhattan was still a few months away, so I guess it makes sense. Looking at the box art, we have a very washed out picture of Jason. It looks like it was cut straight out of the movie. And he's surrounded by, well, just look at it. Is this Friday the 13th or Jason in the Technicolor Dreamcoat? One of the most prominent things in this box is the seal of bad quality, otherwise known as the LJN logo. Now I know LJN was just a publisher, so let's take a look at who actually developed the game. Atlas. Atlas made this game, and they made it after the first Megami Tensei? Maybe it won't be so bad. Holy shit, that knife went right into his eye. It's pretty hardcore for an NES game. Okay, multiple characters, light the fireplaces? Was that a thing in the movies? Were these werewolf zombie things in the movies? What the hell is going on here? Okay, so the premise here is that you have to go around lighting these fireplaces. When this god-awful beeping starts, it means that Jason's murdering a child. So you have to make your way to the highlighted cabin and fight Jason Punch-Out style. But he's harder to beat than Mike Tyson. I can't even avoid his punches. Also, why is Jason punching? Shouldn't he have a machete or something? You and your friends are dead. How did this get approved by Nintendo? I just imagine an LJN employee in a rainbow colored suit showing up at some kid's house like, you and your friends are dead, you hear me? Dead! Anyway, you can find notes that give you hints, and some of these can lead to hidden weapons. There are several weapons you can pick up, which is good because the default rock is fucking terrible. Rather than sticking to the cabins, Jason will sometimes attack you out in the open. These encounters are much easier than the ones in the cabins. Once you beat him, he runs away and comes back stronger. Once you've got the fireplaces lit, you can go into the cave and fight, Mrs. Voorhees' severed head. What is it with the severed heads? It seems like every game I've played in this series so far has at least one head flying around or being in a place it shouldn't be. When you beat her, you get a potato peeler, a sweater, and a pitchfork. Now the game is all about finding Jason, who keeps getting faster and more aggressive the more you fight him. Just keep killing him till he's dead. You have finally managed to defeat Jason. But is he really dead? We're not telling. What kind of ending is that? Hey, you did it. Or did you? This game is a fucking mess. You're supposed to light fireplaces, but how are you supposed to do that when Jason attacks a kid every few seconds? And of course there's no real way to tell which fireplaces you've already lit besides walking into the cabins or drawing your own map. But despite all of that, I don't think this game deserves as much hate as it gets. Yes, it just drops you in with no instructions besides light the fireplaces, but I feel like what they were trying to do just wasn't executed very well. You have your missions to light the fireplaces and save the children, and then just kill Jason till he's dead. And then you win. That's the basics of it. The notes you find in the cabins will lead you to the cave, which means better weapons and sweater armor. Yes, if you just popped the game in and started to play, you'd be completely fucking lost. But that's what instruction manuals were for. Friday the 13th is usually only remembered as one of the worst games on the NES, but at least this blue Jason sprite was referenced by Alphonic in their buggy mess of a Friday the 13th game. Thanks for watching, everyone. Do you think this game is as bad as everyone says it is? Let me know in the comments, and also let me know which game you want me to play next. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us at CrashLove Gaming on everything, and we'll see you next time.